Hi everyone, welcome to today's Legal Wednesday. In today's video, I'll be talking about Simplified Kenyan Labour Laws on Unfair Termination. If you have been in a position where you have lost your job as a result of unfair termination, then this is the video for you. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I am Ruth Tanui, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and also the founder and managing partner of Ruth Tanui and Company Advocates. Unfair termination is when an employer decides to fire you without following the due process as is set out under the Kenyan Labour Laws on employment. The Kenyan labour laws that deal with unfair termination include the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Employment Act of Kenya 2007, and the International Labour Organization, which Kenya is a party to. Circumstances that unfair termination is deemed illegal in Kenya include where an employee has participated in lawful strike, where an employee has taken pregnancy or maternity leave, 3, where an employee has taken the employer to court or has filed a complaint against the employer, 4, where an employee has been discriminated by way of race, gender, tribe, or political affiliation. Number 5, where an employee has joined a union or a membership. And number 6, where an employee has taken the required leave days under the Employment Act of Kenya. No, unfair termination is not legal in Kenya. Under the Kenyan labour laws, an employer must follow due process under the law before terminating an employee. As an employee, when you're fired unfairly, you have two options under the law. The first option is you can file a complaint in the Labour Office within 3 months of the alleged unfair termination. Your second option is you can get representation from an advocate of the High Court of Kenya within a year of the alleged unfair termination. When you have been fired during your probation period, you cannot file unfair termination because an employer has a right under the law to fire you for any reason during your probation period. Some of the grounds that termination will be deemed legal in Kenya include 1, where an employee is arrested and imprisoned for more than 14 days, where an employee is found to be intoxicated at work, 3, where an employee is absent from work without leave, 4, where there is insubordination on the part of the employee, 5, where an employee willingly refuses to perform his or her duties, and 5, where an employee is found to be abusive at work. The burden of proving unfair termination lies squarely on the employee. The employer only has to prove that the unfair termination was valid and within the confines of the law. An employee is required to receive notice, which will depend on what is stipulated in the contract of employment in regards to notice. An employee being dismissed by an employer must be given 4 warnings. The first warning must be oral or verbal. The 3 other warnings must be way of a written letter. Number 3, as an employee, you're entitled to a fair hearing where you can have representations from either your colleagues to vouch for your job. Number 4, if after the hearing you're not satisfied with the decision that has been made, under the law you also have a right to appeal that decision. Yes, as an employee, you are entitled to severance payment, which is an amount paid by the employer for termination of employment, regardless of the reasons for termination. I hope this information has been helpful to you. For more information or clarification, feel free to visit our website, which is here on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you on my next Legal Wednesday.